The previous lecture was about preposition, and today's lecture is about adjectives, right? So we are having the topic for today's lecture is adjectives, and if I'm sharing the screen with you, I have uploaded this lecture in your classwork, which is lecturer slide. Section B can also see this slide in their own classwork. Okay, so let me open this slide. See the adjectives. Let me define the adjectives from this document and then we will discuss it in another tab in detail. Now, be with me. See the definition of adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe or modify another person or thing in a sentence. So if in a sentence there is a thing or there is a person or there is any name and we use another word that describe that particular thing or a person or that name, so it means that all the describing words, if we qualify, we add a quality or a quantity to that person or that thing in a sentence, it's actually the adjective, right? So we can say adjectives are words that describe or modify another person or thing in a sentence. The articles are also called as adjective, like a and an and the are the adjectives because they actually determine that whether a person, whether a thing is specific or general or they are particular. Okay, so the definite and indefinite article, the definite article goes with all those all those nouns and pronouns which are actually particular, which are not general. A and an goes with go with all those nouns and pronouns which are not particular, which are general. So actually articles determine the noun or the position of a noun and a pronoun, whether they are specific or general. So we can say that articles is we can put articles in the category of determiners, and determiners themselves are adjectives. Okay, so we put the articles, the category of articles in adjectives. So they are adjectives. The tall professor, the lugubrious lieutenant, a solid commitment, a month's pay, a 6-year-old child, the unhappiest, richest man, right? So over here, all the words that are underlined are actually adjectives, right? Because the tall professor, this the is used as an article and it's the determiner, as well as it is qualifying the tall, and tall is an adjective. Okay, so the tall professor or the lugubrious lieutenant, so, a solid and a month's pay, a 6-year-old child, the unhappiest richest man. All of those words which are underlined are actually adjectives. Okay. Now, what is the position of an adjective? If we see in a sentence, when we use adjectives, what is its position? Normally, we talk about the position of adverbs, where we put adverbs in a sentence. The same is the case with adjectives, that where we put adjectives. So it's very much clear that they always come before a noun or a noun phrase. Okay, nearly always appear immediately before the noun or noun phrase that they modify. Unlike adverbs normally come in any place. I mean, like they can pop up anywhere in a sentence. Okay, see, unlike adverbs which often seem capable of popping up almost anywhere in a sentence, adjectives nearly always appear immediately before the noun or the noun phrase. So if we are using an adjective, it always comes before the noun for which it is used or which is described by that adjective. So the descriptive words जो है वो हम noun से पहले लगाते हैं, right? See, before the noun or the noun phrase that they modify. अब यहाँ पे एक example में देखिए. When someone, somebody, someone or somebody are adjectives are modified by, they are the nouns. So इसको हम कैसे modify by an adjective? The adjective comes after the pronoun. See, anyone capable. of doing something horrible to someone nice should be punished, something wicked this way comes. ठीक है, तो कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि जो एडजेक्टिव है वो sometime it can come after the noun for which it is used. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे देखें someone, anyone capable, so this capable is an adjective, anyone is actually a noun. ठीक है, तो something horrible, someone nice, लेकिन ये जो हम something और someone use करते, it can also be called as an adjective. ठीक है, लेकिन यहाँ पे जो nice है that is an adjective, this someone is a person. ठीक है, anyone is a person, capable, horrible, adjectives, wicked भी adjective है. So in some of the cases adjective can come after the pronoun, right? But for most of the time they appear before the noun or the noun phrase. ठीक है, for most of the time they appear before a noun or the noun phrase. लेकिन sometime when we use like anyone, something, someone, ठीक है, ये जो हम अल्फाज यूज करते for these pronouns, the adjectives comes after them. ठीक है, so anyone capable, capable is an adjective, something horrible, horrible is an adjective, any cases में, right? So when there is a rule there is always some exceptions. So the rule is that they always appear in front of or before the noun or the noun phrase. But some of the cases, like when we use anyone, something, someone, we use the adjectives after, or the adjectives comes after the pronoun. Okay? There are degrees of adjectives and so many things that you can read from this document that I have uploaded. But let me open another tab for you people and see how can I explain them in detail. Okay, this is the whiteboard if you can see. So I'm describing adjectives. And adjectives, as I said, that these are the words which qualify a noun or a pronoun. They are also called descriptive words. They qualify or describe noun. So we can say that adjectives qualify or describe a noun. Okay, or they are the words which qualify or describe a noun, or they qualify and describe a noun. So they are the descriptive words as well. Okay, we can also call adjectives as the descriptive words. So if we see, there are like the largest class among the word classes are the nouns. Actually, they are the names, whatever the names of things, the name of anything. Okay, and then if we see the pronoun as well, so all those words that are used or that replace a noun are the pronoun. So actually adjectives are used for qualifying or describing a noun or a pronoun. Okay, a noun or a pronoun. So the largest class among word classes or the parts of speech, it's actually the noun, like the name of anything is a noun. Okay, and when we use another word for that noun, it is actually a pronoun. So if we see adjectives are, it's the large class of the words, or we can say it's also a largest class because they are used for qualification or description of that noun and a pronoun. So it includes all the names of the qualities that we use for a noun, all the names of the quantities, all the names of the numbers and the numerals, the color, the age, the shape, the size, and every quality that is actually related to a noun and a pronoun. Okay? So if I'm using, this is a red shirt, so this red is actually a color, right? So every color, the name of a color, if we say old or new or ancient or things like that, it's actually an adjective. So if we talk about the age of a noun or a pronoun, the size of a noun and a pronoun, the color of a noun and a pronoun, the number, the numerals, the size, age, shape, whatever the case is. Okay? it's actually an adjective because that age qualifies something, it describes something, the size describe, the color describe, the number describe, and the numeral describe a noun. Okay, so these all of them are descriptive adjectives. So adjective is the largest class among word classes on the basis of its uh, quantity. See, because they qualify or describe a noun. So all the qualities in this word which are used for the noun and a pronoun, it may be it a color or a size or a shape or age or any quality. I mean, if you say ugly, bad, good, okay, these are actually the qualities. So they are adjectives. Okay. Now, as we said that mostly adjectives comes first in to a noun. Like for most of the time it comes first or before a noun for which it is used. But in some of the cases, as we discussed, that with something or someone, we can also use it. Sometimes it can be at the end of the sentence, but it is actually describing a noun in that particular sentence. Then you have to see the function of that adjective, that whether it is used as like you have to see that that adjective is used to describe that noun in a sentence. उस sentence में जो भी noun use होगा, it will be for that particular noun. For example, these strawberry taste sour, right? The pickles are salty. The pickles are salty. So these strawberries taste sour. ठीक है. You see over here, this sour is actually an adjective. Salty is an adjective, but they are used for this strawberry and these pickles. So we can say that sometimes an adjective can come at the end of the sentence, or we can also say that like with some of the pronouns like something, anyone, or someone, we put the adjective after that something or someone, or we can say anyone, right? But when it can be at the end of the sentence, but you have to see that that adjective is used for the description of a noun that is used in that sentence. ठीक है, तो इन्हीं sentences में अगर आप लोग देखें, so this sour is used for the strawberry, salty is used for the pickles, which are nouns. ठीक है. Adjectives are, now if we talk about the types of adjectives, there are so many adjectives. You might have read it, and I'm sure you have been reading these things like adjectives, adverbs, prepositions since your very first classes in your school timings. ठीक है, तो बहुत सारे आप लोग को याद भी होंगे कि the distributive adjectives है, ये definite adjectives है, indefinite adjectives है, and all of them possessive adjectives है. ठीक है. So if you remember all of them, we aren't going to go into the detail of those adjectives because describing the types of adjectives is not a good thing to discuss at this level. We have to talk about the adjectives, that where to use those adjectives. Okay, so I'll be explaining two of them, which are the major categories of adjectives, and I'll be explaining that where we use those adjectives. Okay, particularly. So there are personal titles as well, like auntie, uncle, professor, doctor, lecturer, engineer. All of them, or these titles are actually, they are called personal titles and they are adjectives. ठीक है, तो हमारे पास adjectives क्या है? As I said that it can be the quality of something. This quality can be bad, or it can be good, or it can be say beautiful. ठीक है, it can be something description. ठीक है, in that description it can be, you can talk about the color, the size of something. So the color can be red, it can be blue, it can be any color, or it can be the size. ठीक है, तो size क्या होगा? Size can be big, large, small, and things like that. ठीक है, it can be the age, I mean old, new, ठीक है, or so many. And it can be color. Sorry, I discussed colors as well. It can be shape, like round, circular, rectangle, and so many. ठीक है, so it's like the shape. So they are, it can be the description, or it can be something, the quality. We can also call it opinion. All the titles or the personal titles are also adjectives. Okay, the personal titles are like engineer, professor, doctor, lecturer, or we can also personal titles and professional titles. ठीक है, all the titles actually. These are the professional titles like engineer, professor, doctor, lecturer. ठीक है, and the personal titles are like Mr., Miss, sorry, uncle, auntie. ठीक है, and there are others as well. ठीक है, so these are actually the personal titles are also adjectives. We can also say that nationalities are adjectives. Nationalities or origin is also an adjective. Okay, origin can be like the British people or a British race. It can be Pakistani. It can be Scottish. Okay, so this nationality or origin is also, we can say I'm a Pakistani, so or she is a Pakistani or a Scottish or a British. That is actually we are using an adjective for it. Like we qualify that what is their nationality. Okay? There are possessive adjectives as well, like his, her, ours, yours, etc. Demonstrative adjective like pointing to something or a thing. Okay? So like whose and those and that and things like that. Interrogative adjectives like when, which, whose, what, who, ये जो interrogative adjectives है. There can be so many other, right? But we are not going to in discussion of all those demonstrative, possessive adjectives and personal. We will talk about possessive adjectives and the difference between possessive and possessive pronoun, adjective and pronoun. But the rest of them is easy for you people. I know you. I'm sure you have been reading these things since your very first classes in school. But today I want to discuss two major types of, we can say, adjectives, and they are adjective of quality and adjective of quantity. Okay, adjective of quality and adjective of quantity. Okay, if we are describing a noun, either we say its quality or either we say its quantity. The rest of them I discuss with you, that they are the nationality or जो personal titles हैं, demonstrative adjectives हैं, possessive adjectives हैं, all of them. ठीक है, they are all adjectives. But the major categories are like the adjective of quality and adjective of quantity. If we are describing a noun or we say something more or qualify a noun or a pronoun, actually we are attributing the quality, or either we attribute a quantity or we attach a quantity to that noun or pronoun. So we say they are adjectives. Okay? So when we add any quality or any quantity and adjective in order to describe or qualify them, they are adjectives. ठीक है, so वो adjectives कौन कौन से, the adjective of quality and adjective of quantity क्या है? Then there are two types of adjective of quality. I would write one for it. In adjective of quality, then we have two. ठीक है, in the two, the first one is um, adjective of opinion. And the second one is actually adjective of description or descriptive adjective. ठीक है, adjective of description or descriptive adjective. Now in the second one we have also two, like adjective of quality. In adjective of quantity we have um, ठीक है, we have three, right? In the adjective of quantity we have actually three, and they are definite article, and definite adjectives, indefinite adjectives, and distributive adjectives. In second, we have three, and that is indefinite adjectives, and we have distributive adjective. So these are the types of adjectives or the major categories: adjective of quality and quantity. In adjective of quality, we have an adjective of opinion and adjective of description. And in the quantity, we have definite adjectives, indefinite adjectives, and distributive adjectives. So these three are actually showing us the quantity of the noun and a pronoun, and these are the quality of noun and a pronoun. So adjective of opinion, please remember this, keep this in your mind, that there are two types of qualities. One is the opinion, the other is the description. In the opinion, what we say that they are actually, when we say beautiful, something is beautiful, ugly, bad, good, pretty, and things like that. Okay, so it's like or handsome, okay, or awesome. These are adjective of opinion. Why? Because something is beautiful might not be beautiful for somebody else. Ugly for you might not be ugly for me. Bad or good or pretty or handsome or awesome, these are actually adjective of opinion. So we have your own subjective opinion, because some people like flowers and it's beautiful for them. Some people might not like flowers and it may not be beautiful for them. Somebody is ugly for one person and they are like handsome or beautiful for another person, right? So see, they are opinion, they are actually adjective of opinion. That's why we call it opinion, क्योंकि हम कहते हैं कि हर बंदे का अपना opinion होता है, because they have their own perception. ठीक है, तो इसमें ज्यादा साइकोलॉजी जानने की जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन इतना याद रखिए कि all of these adjectives adjectives like the quality, beautiful, ugly, bad, good, pretty, awesome, handsome, and things like that, they are adjective of opinion. इसको जहन में रख ले, because we are going to discuss the order of adjectives. तो उसमें आप लोग को पता चलेगा कि how we put the adjective of opinion, or whether we have to put the adjective of a description first. ठीक है? Adjective of description or descriptive adjectives are those adjectives which describe a noun actually. ठीक है, अब इसको क्वालिटी देते हैं, राइट, ब्यूटीफुल समथिंग, सो दैट क्वालिटी माइट नॉट बी द क्वालिटी ऑफ समबडी एल्स, लेकिन यहाँ पे या ओपिनियन देते हैं. इन डिस्क्रिप्शन दे डिस्क्राइब अ पर्टिकुलर noun. So what we do in description, we normally talk about the size, the color, the shape, the origin of something. This is actually a description about something. If you ask somebody to describe a personality, you will be talking about his or her a nationality, the structure, the shape. If anybody can ask you to describe a room or a classroom or an idea, so you will be talking about the descriptive things. ठीक है, कि अगर idea है, so you will be talking about कि who originated this idea, what is there in that idea. और अगर if somebody asks you to describe a room or a classroom, so you will be talking about the numbers of the chairs, the color of the walls, and the number of the fans, and the things like that. So that is description. So ये जो descriptive adjectives है, it's actually talking about the color, the age, the shape, nationality, okay, or it can be ठीक है, all the rest of the adjectives are actually the descriptive adjectives. ठीक है, तो आप इसको descriptive adjective में डाल सकते हैं. In we can say the color and the shape, the size, the age, ठीक है, these are descriptive adjectives. ठीक है, the size and the age, these are descriptive. Or we can also say the purpose, for which purpose a thing is used. Okay, so that purpose is also called as the adjective of description. Like if we say alarm clock, okay, so this alarm clock, clocks are used for just to see the timings. Like if it is alarm clock, it is used for the alarm. Okay, so that is, alarm is actually an adjective, but it is an adjective of purpose. Now coming to the adjective of quantity. Adjective of quantity is actually that adjective which shows the numbers and numerals. Quantity show करते हैं, the amount. ठीक है, so quantity shows the amount, or it's the numbers and numerals. How? There are three types of quantity of adjectives or adjective of quantity. They are definite adjectives, indefinite adjectives, and distributive adjectives. The definite adjectives are those adjectives which show or describe a specific something specific. ठीक है, I mean, like it can be ordinal or it can be cardinal. So there again, there are two types of definite adjectives. They are called as ordinals and cardinals. Who is this Ismail Khan? Outside university.
मैम ये सेक्शन बी का है, इसका ईमेल का मसला बना हुआ है, इसी वजह से.
Do you really know him?
मैम ये से हमारे सेक्शन का ही है.
Okay. So I was talking about adjectives of definite adjectives. They can be ordinals or cardinals. Now, what are cardinals? They are like when we say 1, 2, 3, or we can say 1, 2, or 3 or 4 or things like that, they are actually the cardinals. What are ordinals? Ordinals are first, second, third, fourth, and things like that. It is these are cardinals, but they are specific adjectives, definite. हम कहते हैं, ठीक है? Because like 1, 2, and 3, you know that they are we can say you know the amount. This is an exact amount, number or numeral. That's why we say it's 1, 2, or first or second and third, right? So they are the specific number and numeral. That's why they are called definite adjectives. And definite adjectives are those adjectives which do not clearly say something about the specific values or like specify a number, okay? But it can be used as like, but it is used to show a number. A number show करता है, but it is not a specific number. For example, many, you do not know the specific number, but you say many, but it's a number, okay? Two, little, some, few, okay? Less, all, and many. Okay, many, two, little, some, few, less, all, many शायद दोबारा लिखा है. So that is like indefinite adjectives. Now you have to see that where we use the indefinite adjectives, ordinals or cardinals का तो आप लोगों को पता है कि where we use them. Or adjective of opinion भी you should know, or the shape, the age, and the size, and the color, all of them you know. But the use of indefinite adjectives is a bit ambiguous, like where to use them. Many, too, little, some, few, where to use them. So some of them are showing the amount, and some of them are showing the number actually. So if we say few, it's actually showing us the number. And if we say some, it's actually showing, sometimes it shows us the number, and sometimes it shows us the amount, right? And little is actually it can also show us an amount, and it can show us a number. लेकिन few जो है, it is specifically used for the number, not the amount. ठीक है? Less भी इस तरह है, and all and many. ठीक है? All and many, all of them. So where we use this little, where we use these few, or all, or many, or two, things like that. Can anybody tell me? Can anybody make some examples of many, two, little, some, few, less, all, and many? This less is actually the other form of the little. Little, less, and the least. Now think about it as one. Distributive adjectives are those adjectives which talk about an individual among whole. Okay. So it's distribution. जब हम कहते हैं ना कि it's the responsibility of the CR to distribute among the students. So it means that he has to reach each individual, right? So this is distributive adjectives. Or when we talk about one individual, or refer to a noun as an individual in the whole amount. Okay? So we say each, every, neither, and either. Either, neither, each, okay, every, these are actually distributive adjectives. So can anybody make some examples on indefinite adjectives? Let me tell you one thing in the indefinite adjectives. When we say sometime, it is like in the competitive exam, if you see there are used, what is the difference in little, the little, because they are, both of them are adjectives. All of them are adjectives. A little, okay? Few, a few, and the few. These are the adjectives. Okay. Some, to you must know that some are used when we have an amount or when we have a noun, but that is like an uncountable noun. तो हम some लगाते हैं. It's like things like that. Many हम numbers के साथ लगाते हैं. ठीक है. Numbers के साथ लगाते हैं like many people. ठीक है. और many things तो हम ये numbers के साथ लगाते हैं. Amount के साथ many नहीं लगाते. ठीक है. Many neither never comes with the amount. Rather it comes with the number, ठीक है, of the things and the people. Same is the case with the few, that it doesn't come with the amount, rather it comes with the number, ठीक है. And the rest of them like the little, it can be with the amount or it can be with the people, ठीक है, or with the things. So when we say little, the little, a little, or few, a few, and the few, what is the meaning of this? Can anybody tell me little, the little, a little, few, a few, the few? इनमें क्या difference है? All of them are sleeping.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So can anybody tell me?
मैम फ्यू थोड़ी चीज के लिए, few थोड़ी ज्यादा चीज के लिए होगा, और फ्यू और ज्यादा थोड़ी.
हाँ सही बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन आप उसको थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करें. बाकी जो लोग हैं क्या वो नहीं सुन रहे हैं मुझे?
मैम डिग्री को
मैम
करें डिफाइन
कौन सा?
एडजेक्टिव की डिग्री को.
कौन सा वाला? No. It's not about the degree. It's about the number. Actually, I'm talking about few, a few, the few. It's about a number. So which number? I mean, if I say few students were present in the class, and if I say a few students who are present in the class, or if I say these rules are not only designed for the few, okay? So what I mean, few students were present in the class, a few students were present in the class, and the few. ठीक है, चले मैं बताती हूँ मैं क्या टाइम आप लोग को वेस्ट करूंगी. आप लोग, मुझे नहीं लगता आप
मैम
वो करते हैं.
फ्यू फ्यू का मतलब कुछ लोग, और दी फ्यू में नहीं, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा नहीं लेकिन कम. नॉट मैनी, अ फ्यू. और फ्यू मतलब के कम, और द फ्यू मतलब के इसका मैम सही नहीं पता.
अच्छा ठीक, सही. वेरी गुड, एटलीस्ट यू टॉक.
वही ना मिकदार को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है. जब थोड़ी चीज होगी तो फिर a few हो जाएगा, जब थोड़ी ज्यादा है तो few हो जाएगी.
मैम फ्यू मैम किसी लिविंग थिंग के लिए होता है, और जो द फ्यू होता है मैम नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स को शो करने के लिए होता है.
एनीबडी एल्स? ये क्या नाम
मैम
है?
द फ्यू जो है मैम वो बिल्कुल स्पेसिफिक किसी चीज के लिए यूज होता है. मतलब द पर्सन, मतलब कोई एक स्पेसिफिक बंदा हो, उसके लिए हम दी यूज करते हैं.
All of you are near to the meaning, लेकिन उसको
फ्यू
थोड़ा
मीन
तरीके
मैम
से
प्लूरल के लिए फ्यू प्लूरल में इस्तेमाल होता है. और
मैम वो जो फ्यू लिखा हुआ है वो मेरे ख्याल से कलेक्टिवली इस्तेमाल हो रहा
मैम
है कि
वी को
कलेक्टिवली थोड़े और
कॉन्फिडेंट के साथ इस्तेमाल करते हैं.
अब दोनों चुप हो गए. शहाब या आप बोले या हामिद साहब बोले?
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि जो फ्यू लिखा हुआ है वो एज ए कलेक्टिवली इस्तेमाल हो रहा है कि कम है, और जो द फ्यू है वो एक स्पेसिफिकली इस्तेमाल हो रहा है कि एक स्पेसिफिक ग्रुप है जो मतलब कम है
Very good,
क्वांटिटी में.
excellent. Very good, excellent. This is actually when we say few, if I say few students were present in the class, so I took my class. Okay. Few students attended the class, so I took my class. Okay. And if I say a few students were present in the class, so I couldn't manage to take the class. Okay. And if I say the rules are not only for the few. Okay. So few is actually when we have a number, but that number is considerable. मतलब आप उसको consider कर सकते हैं कि चले 5-6 लोग हैं लेकिन मैं क्लास ले सकती हूँ. ठीक है. A few means that they are in a negative sense. Sorry. This is I'm confusing, but actually in these two, um, few students were present in the class. It means that very little amount. Okay, I was just telling about a few. Okay, few students were present in the class. It means that the amount was uh, negligible, or we can say not considerable. A few students were present in the class means that there was at least an amount, or a number, or some considerable student. ठीक है, 5-6 लोग थे तो मैंने क्लास ले ली. ठीक है. The few is used when we talk about a particular group. ठीक है, that the rules are not for the few. ठीक है, ये सिर्फ इन स्पेसिफिक ग्रुप के लिए ये रूल्स नहीं है. इट इज फॉर ऑल. ठीक है. So and it's the same is the case with the little and a little, but normally we talk about the amount. ठीक है. इसमें हम amount की बात करते हैं तभी हम little, the little और a little use करते हैं. But actually the meaning of the little and a little is also the same as we talk about few, a few and the few. लेकिन इसमें थोड़ा सा ये है कि a little can be used for the amount and this can be used for the number. ठीक है. You must know that where we use many, where we use two, where we use little and some. ठीक है. So we can also say several is an indefinite. ठीक है, हम इसको भी use करते हैं. Several is also an indefinite adjective. Several people came to watch the magic show. ठीक है. You can have this example. Several people came to watch this show. ठीक है. So this show, it's actually a number of the people, but not specific. ठीक है. Ate some milk with the tea, or ठीक है. और Ali has placed some apples in the fridge. ठीक है. And many shops in the market are closed. Are closed. Okay. Or we can also say most prefer to stay at home. So we can also say most people prefer staying at home. Most people prefer to stay at homes. Due to lockdown. ठीक है. So these are actually the all about the distributive, sorry, the indefinite and definite adjective. So it's on your part. Now see, it's your duty that you have to learn about distributive adjectives, which are either, neither, each, and every. I would like you people to learn about either, neither, each, and every, because it's very necessary for you people. If I talk about it, you will just forget it. You will just like it will evaporate from your mind the other day. But I want you people to learn about distributive adjectives, that where we use. So when you search it, you will have all these things in your memory. So either, neither, each, and every, where we use them, it's your homework. Okay. So please search for it and learn it, that where we use distributive adjectives and how we use them in sentences. Okay. So I hope this is clear for the types of adjectives. Now, these are the types of adjectives. Now, when we talk about the formation of adjectives, adjectives are mainly formed from nouns. And you must know this thing because it is very easy a topic. And how they are formed from noun, by adding some of the suffixes and prefixes. You must know the suffixes and prefixes. Okay? Suffix and prefix are actually those words when we put in front of a word or a stem or a root word, or we can put it after that root word. Okay? So that is like when we those suffixes and prefixes, when we add to it to the nouns, we can make adjectives. And those suffixes and prefixes are ic, ish, able, ous, and then we have y, we have less, we have al, ing, we can have ed as well, ar, and ful. Okay, and there are so many. Now, can you tell me some of the adjectives that can be made from nouns by putting ic with that noun? Okay, can you tell me? Like fantastic, enthusiastic,
Iconic.
iconic, economic, comic. Okay. Now ish,
Stylish,
exactly, stylish, selfish,
Cherish.
anything else? Anything else? Okay. Now able, abl,
Comfortable.
Comfortable.
Comfortable. But we can say it as comfortable. Okay? Not comfortable. It's comfortable.
Admirable.
Okay. Likeable. Likeable, admirable.
Reliable.
Very good. What?
Reliable.
Reliable,
Valuable.
valuable, and so many. OUS.
Fabulous.
Poisonous.
Famous,
Fabulous.
fabulous,
Poisonous.
Conspicuous.
poisonous. Anything? Generous, dangerous,
Disasters.
disastrous, precious, mountainous,
Nervous.
nervous, mountainous, ambiguous,
Prosperous.
Continuous.
Prosperous.
prosperous. Very good, excellent. Now, why?
Ridiculous.
When we put why, yes, ridiculous as well. Very good. When we put why, I mean like sunny,
Funny.
Honey.
Happy.
Money.
funny,
Money.
Happy.
Funny.
हाँ funny है लेकिन honey नहीं है.
नहीं
Happy.
बाय आता है ना. Funny.
नहीं देखो जरूरी नहीं है कि why आता है तो बस वो हमारे पास सारे
Cloudy.
adjectives है. ठीक है. Honey is a noun. उसके साथ honey के साथ हम कोई adjective नहीं लगाते.
ठीक है.
Cloudy.
Exactly. Cloudy,
Happy.
Runny.
easy, runny nose. ठीक है. Cloudy, stormy,
Acidity.
और
Money.
yes, acidity भी है. Less क्या है? Noisy, stormy, dirty, easy,
Careless.
cloud.
Harmless.
Yes,
Harmless.
yes.
Careless.
Harmless, exactly.
Doubtless.
Doubtless,
Shameless.
Harmless.
hairless,
Shameless.
sleeveless,
Helpless.
helpless,
Carpless.
shameless, and
Endless.
fearless. हाँ, fearless, helpless,
Shameless.
careless. ठीक है. And
Homeless.
helpless and
Restless.
harmless. Exactly.
Restless.
Restless, exactly. Very good. Now AL.
Also.
Not
Almost. Already.
No.
L.
Almost.
If we use it as, we can also say it's almost or but.
Central. Commercial. Comical. Emotional.
Exactly. we have to use them as a suffix actually. They are suffixes. ठीक है, लेकिन अगर आप इसको prefix use करते हैं, then you have to justify whether that is an adjective or that is an adverb. ठीक है, तो अगर हम इसके साथ हम a almost लगाएं तो almost या adjective है या adverb है. ठीक है, but we have to use it as a suffix. ठीक है, अब क्या है factual, actual,
Arrival,
Local,
ideal, usual, central, comical,
Personal.
local,
local,
loyal,
international, national,
loyal में
optional, personal.
personal. Thank you so
loyal,
much. Loyal, exactly. ing,
Thinking,
smiling.
Trying.
We can
Annoying.
also say calling,
Dressing.
dressing, depressing,
annoying,
annoying, challenging. Annoying
Accepting.
भी है. But don't you think they are like if we say smiling or calling or challenging, don't you think it's like something present participle? Hmm? Don't you think it's something present participle?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the difference in using it as an adjective? What is the difference between this adjective and a present participle?
adjective qualified.
ठीक है, we actually, when we have this type of adjective, it's actually, this adjective is called as gerunds. Okay, if you remember, we call it as gerunds, but there is a difference in gerund and the present participle. Okay, present participles are those verbs which are having the base form of the verb plus ing. जैसे हमारे पास है calling. So it's call, which is the base form of the verb, and if we put ing with it, it's calling. Okay, if we have do and we put ing with it, it's doing. This is the present participle. We can also say some other, we can say running. Running is a present participle. So when we have the base form of the verb plus ing, that's like a present participle. But there is a difference in the gerund and a present participle. So sometimes it can be a present participle, but actually gerunds are showing the activity of something. And that word with in the ing form, when it is used in front of a noun or before a noun, and it is actually describing that noun, we say that it is a gerund. ठीक है, तो हम कहते हैं कि ये gerund है, ये present participle नहीं है, because it is used for that particular like in that sentence, then you have to see that उस participle का function क्या है. If it is coming in front of a noun and it is qualifying that noun, it is showing the activity of that noun, so we can say कि हम कह सकते हैं कि that is a gerund, that is not a present participle. अब अगर हम कहें कि स्माइलिंग गर्ल और कॉलिंग बॉय, चैलेंजिंग आइडिया, ठीक है, और एनोइंग आइडिया, ठीक है, और एनोइंग ऑप्शन, और दीज आर कॉल्ड एज जेरंड्स. ठीक है, और वी कैन से लविंग पर्सन और केयरिंग पर्सन. सो स्माइलिंग गर्ल और कॉलिंग गाय, challenging idea or an annoying option. Okay, so this option is actually a noun. If we say challenging idea, so when it comes in front of a noun and it is qualifying that noun, it means that it is a gerund, though it can be used as a present participle as well, but mostly gerunds are when we have something like call. You see or like when we have the ing form, that is showing an activity, but it is used for the qualification or modification, or we can say a description of a noun and a pronoun. जैसे मैं कहती हूँ smiling girl, so a girl is a noun and this smiling is a gerund, it's not a participle over here. ठीक है? So जैसे मैं कहती हूँ कि they saw a smiling girl at the corridor. ठीक है? और she was smiling at her. Okay, so over here this smiling is a present participle, and over here this smiling is actually working as a gerund. ठीक है? तो gerunds और present participle में ये फर्क है. Then we have ed form as an adjective, like for example if I say boiled, okay, satisfied,
Educated.
Educated.
exactly, educated, executed, and things like
Unpaid.
that, or invited,
Sophisticated.
no, sophisticated as well. So you see a sophisticated, executed and invited, if we see, they are actually the forms of the verbs. ठीक है? ये verbs है, लेकिन अगर हम इसको as a quality use करें, as a we can say the noun or description of the noun use करें, for example if I say educated person or invited guests, ठीक है? So these guest is actually a noun and invited is working as a adjective for it. Executed person or executed law, or educated person, satisfied customer, boiled eggs, or maybe boiled vegetable. Okay, so that is actually working over here as an adjective. Then you have to see the function of that adjective, whether it is used as a verb or a present participle or any adjective. ठीक है? अब AR क्या है? So AR we can also make familiar, particular, familiar, familiar, similar, regular,
muscular,
muscular,
Anti-solar.
anti-solar, engineers. ठीक है? Popular, etc. Now this FUL, now full के लिए बहुत सारे हैं, like joyful,
helpful,
beautiful, helpful,
Beautiful. Artful.
exactly, beautiful,
Grateful.
artful,
useful,
grateful,
Colorful.
useful,
colorful, useful, and so many. So this is the formation of adjective.
Grateful. Hopeful.
हाँ.
Forgetful.
Exactly, helpful, useful, grateful, और बहुत सारे हैं. So
Forgetful.
forgetful. So see, we normally use adjectives from or make adjectives from nouns by putting all these suffixes and prefixes. ठीक है? But mostly they are suffixes. Mostly they are suffixes because sometimes we, if we put the prefixes, we can make the or change the grammatical category of those words. We can make adjectives for most of the time. I'll be talking about adverbs. When we will be talking about adverbs, you will see that how can we make adverbs from adjectives. Now it was all about adjectives, that we make adjectives or form adjectives from nouns mainly. ठीक है? By putting these suffixes and prefixes, we will see that how can we put some suffixes and prefixes by making adverbs from adjectives. So this was all about the formation of adjectives. Now there is another topic, and it's the last topic. Then I'll leave the class. I'm sure I'm making you people bored, but actually I have to discuss this topic. It's very important for you people. Now there are like degrees of adjective, and it's like the order of adjective. Degree of adjective is you have to keep one thing in mind. जो हम degree बनाते हैं, I mean like the superlative degree, comparative, because when we compare nouns and things with each other, it's also the job of an adjective to compare them to one another, to like to put one among them as the best one. Okay, so comparison of the things and comparison of the people is also the job of the adjective. Now how we compare them, it's actually we are making the degrees for. Okay, so when we try to compare nouns and when we try to compare noun and pronouns or things with one another, or we put one the best among them, it's actually that comparison, and that comparison is called as the degrees of adjective. Now there is there are three comparison, three degree of adjective. Number one is the positive, number two is the comparative, when we compare two things. Comparative. And number three is the superlative. When we do not compare, actually we put it among all. Okay? The best among all or the worst among all. So it is the positive, comparative, and superlative degree. Positive, you must know that it's the same, we can say adjective. Comparative or superlative ये है कि in comparative degree, we normally, if we say that comparative degrees are formed of the adjective by putting er, okay, and superlative degree are made by putting est. लेकिन उनमें से एक चीज है कि how can we make it as er or est? ठीक है? It's actually there is a rule for it that we can make comparative and superlative degree of an adjective. Okay, we make the superlative degree by putting est to the superlative degree. Okay, to the positive degree by putting est to the positive degree to make a superlative degree. ठीक है, लेकिन हर वक्त ऐसा नहीं होता. There are also some of the we can say there are some of the exceptions as well. ठीक है, तो वो exceptions क्या है? आप लोग मुझे जरा बताएं कि आप लोग को डिग्री के बारे में अब तक कितना पता था?
मैम एक तो हमें ये पता था कि एक होता है जैसे कि गुड का हो गया बेटर एंड बेस्ट, और जिनका आप कह रही हैं एक्सेप्शंस, तो उसमें मेरे ख्याल से इस तरह जैसे ब्यूटीफुल है तो फिर मोर ब्यूटीफुल, मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल, इतना मतलब मेरे ख्याल से पता था.
ठीक है, नहीं नहीं, वो असल में 2 syllable की बात कर रही हूँ. ठीक है, when it is more than 2 syllables, I mean like 3 syllables, so then we have normally we put more and most. ठीक है, more for the comparative degree and most for, but you have to say the most. ठीक है, the most for superlative degree. When they are 2 syllables, we make comparative and superlative degree. Number one is like जैसे हम कहते हैं small, okay, smaller and the smallest, okay, large, larger and the largest. You have to put the with the superlative degree. Keep this in your mind. With the superlative degree we have to put. Now, if we say important, okay, important,
Excuse me.
in important, we have to say more important and the most important. Expensive, more expensive, and the most expensive. Beautiful, more beautiful, and the most beautiful. ठीक है? Handsome, um, we can say more handsome or the most handsome. ठीक है? Who was asking?
अब्दुर्रहमान
मैम वो दूसरे हमारी प्रोग्रामिंग की क्लास का टाइम हो गया.
अच्छा, ठीक है, बस ये मैं खत्म कर रही हूँ. ये हमारे पास एक रूल है, बट देयर आर आल्सो सम एक्सेप्शंस दैट हम कहते हैं ना कि वी मेक द सुपरलेटिव डिग्री और कंपैरेटिव डिग्री बाय पुटिंग ER. जैसे हमने ER यहाँ पे लगाया है एंड EST यहाँ पे ER एंड EST, सो द स्मॉल एंड स्मॉलेस्ट एंड द स्मॉलर. ठीक है, प्लीज डोंट टॉक, प्लीज डोंट टॉक. ठीक है, सो तो हमारे पास है लिटिल, लेस एंड द लीस्ट. गुड, better,
better
bad, sorry, and the best. ठीक है, अब bad क्या है? Worse and worst. ठीक है, the worst. So these are actually one syllable or maybe two syllable, लेकिन इसमें थोड़े से exceptions है. There are some exceptions as well, जिनके जो normal comparative degree और superlative degree बनती है उस तरह नहीं है. और just one simple topic, ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद मैं क्लास खत्म कर रही हूँ. But you have to wait, be patient. ठीक है, and that one is actually the order of adjective. Order of adjective is very important to know, because sometimes we have more than one adjective in a sentence, so how to put them in order, whether to put the adjective of quality first, quantity first, size first, age, or etc. ठीक है, so sometimes there can be more than one adjective for a single noun in a sentence, so how to put them in order. And the order is like the quantity should come first, then the adjective of quality. Again, adjective of quality over here, it's all about the adjective of opinion. आपने इसके बाद ये लगाना है. Then the size, age, shape, color, nationality, and purpose. Okay, these are this is the order of adjective. अब अगर मैं कहूँ कि really big, old, green, antique house. ठीक है, really big, old, green, antique house. तो ये देखिए क्या है. Really, it's not necessary कि अगर adjective of quantity नहीं है तो आपने quality को नहीं लगाना. If there is missing, one adjective is missing, like say size का adjective missing है, put the age, the adjective of age after the quality. ठीक है, so really is actually an adjective of quality or opinion. Big is the size, ठीक है, and old is the age, green is the color क्योंकि shape नहीं है, antique is actually for the purpose, house is a noun. ठीक है, antique हमारे पास purpose के लिए, because for decoration or for such purposes, ठीक है, for the entertainment or maybe things like that, we normally keep the antique things, ठीक है. So antique is the purpose, ठीक है. Really big old green antique house, ठीक है. Now if we are having one like two adjectives from a single category, like for example if I say really big old green and white, ठीक है, then I have to say really big old green and white antique house, ठीक है. So why I'm putting a conjunction between green and white? अगर आपके पास बहुत सारे मतलब if you are having more than one adjectives for a single noun, do not put any comma if they belong to different categories. For example, an adjective of quality, quantity, size, age, shape, because they belong to different categories. Size हमारे पास एक category है, age एक दूसरा category, and shape another, right? So do not put any comma in between all those adjectives which belong to different categories. But if they belong to one and a single category and there are more than one adjective, जैसे green and white है, then you have to put either a conjunction in between them to separate or either a comma. If there are more than two adjectives, you have to put a comma and a conjunction. If there are two, you have to put a conjunction and in just to separate them. ठीक है? So this is also a homework for you people. When you get time, please look for the order of adjective as well as the distributive adjective. I'll be asking about distributive adjective in the next class when we will be discussing about the adverbs. So I hope it is clear and I hope I did not make you bored. I'm stopping the recording. So if you have any question, you can ask me.